two campuses. We've got one in London and one here in the city centre of Glasgow. And in 2022, Glasgow was named one of the 4th best cities in the world. Glasgow is a really central, it's really central to Scotland, and you can easily commute to other areas within Europe, easily commute down to our London campus and other areas within Scotland as well. And London has obviously lots of public transport links, and our campus is centrally located, again, allowing ease for travel both in the UK and to other parts of Europe and the rest of the world. So Glasgow Caledonian University is known as the University for Common Good. And at the university, we strive to have a community where everybody collectively works together to create a better world. The university is in the top 40 UK universities and the top 50 in the Times and Sunday Times, and these were accolades that we won just last year. And we are the second top performing UK modern university in the Daily Mail University Guide. And that's just another more of our recent awards that we've had. So in 2022, Student Crowd awarded us the best value for money. Also in 2022, we were in the top 10 for the best job prospects. And more recently in 2023, again by Student Crowd, we were in the top 10 best universities in Scotland. So just up at the top of the screen there, you can see our campus map. We are a self-contained campus, meaning that we're all on the one area. There's no sort of buildings across streets spread across the city. We're self-contained. Just some facilities to point out there. The map's a wee bit small, but just where you can see that number 13 there, and the green tower, that is our Sir Alex Ferguson Library. Any Man United fans here will know that Sir Alex Ferguson was a great football manager. That's the sort of central kind of hub of our Glasgow campus there. We also have over in the George Moore building, which is this building here, building 7. That is home to our media and journalism department. So we have green screen facilities in there, a TV studio and a radio studio. Over in building 6 here, this is the Govan and Becky building where a lot of our health related courses are. We have a simulation hospital with different wards. And lots of different sort of physio wards, sort of dummies for practicing on your CPR and for diagnostics. At the back of this building here, we have our GCU Vision Centre, where that's home to some of our courses, such as optometry. Over in building number 8 here, this is the Annie Lennox building. Our Annie Lennox building is home to our GCU Law Clinic and our mock courtroom. And just out the back here at building number 17, we have our Fashion Factory. GCU is home to courses like international marketing, or fashion marketing. We've got fashion design with business, among others, and they're all based over in the Fashion Factory. And today on campus, we actually have the student fashion showcase taking place today. So you'll have noticed earlier that we were pointed out as being one of the top 10 universities for employment prospects. Here our degrees are very much based on what industry is looking for, and employability is a big thing here at GCU, and it's woven into your learning here. There's lots of practical learning and hands-on learning. So different sort of ways in which we do this. There's lots of networking opportunities on campus. We have the MINT program, which is our mentoring, industry and networking talks sort of program that we have here, where we take alumni who have gone out into industry and they come back and they can either mentor or give talks to our current students here. We have lots of industry placements, which will give you valuable experience when you're going out into the world of work after university. We also have the hub here, which the entrepreneurial hub, which is similar to UHatch, where people can come along and they can get involved and get their ideas and speak to people who are already in industry, and they can sort of grow their business with a lot of support around them from various mentors that I mentioned earlier, and other like-minded students at GCU. Okay. Down in GCU London, we have support from the British School of Fashion, and that's our sort of postgraduate campus. So a lot of our courses down there, sort of based on fashion and business. Down there again, our really strong links with industry means that we're able to tailor our program so that our graduates are leaving GCU with the tools and the education and the practical experience to be able for them to hit the ground running and go out into the world of work. A lot of our courses and just our sort of community and our ethos at GCU, we do focus on sustainability, responsible business and public health. This is something that's really important to the university, but it's also really important to a lot of the industry partners we work with, and teaching these sort of how to be sustainable in business, what responsible business looks like, and sort of the kind of ideas around public health to our graduates at this stage. Hopefully it's going to be woven into their learning throughout their time at GCU, and they'll then take that on to their work environment afterwards. Okay, there are 3 schools here at our Glasgow campus. We've got the Glasgow School for Business and Society, which is known as GSBS. The types of courses that you find here, you can find them all on our website, a full prospectus and a full programme and course list, which is available on our website, and I will pop the link into the chat. Courses would be sort of finance, investment and risk management, economics, law and accountancy. We have our international marketing, media and communication, multimedia and journalism, our social science programs, and our international tourism and events management. And just at the top there, business management and international business. So all these courses, they're really popular. They cover a whole variety of different sectors. And again, you can find all the entry requirements and a full list of all the programs available on the GCU website. Next of all, we have the School of Computing, Engineering and Built Environment. This school is sort of home to various courses such as construction management, quantity surveying, building surveying, cybersecurity and networks, gaming, AI and data science, software development, computer games, as I've already said, and electrical and electronic engineering. Again, all the details of these courses and what each course is about and what you'll be doing when you study each course, they are all available on the GCU website and in our prospectus as well. And lastly, the School of Health and Life Sciences. So the School of Health and Life Sciences, again, has a whole host of programmes sitting under it. Things like biological and biomedical science, adult and child nursing, and that covers mental health nursing and adult nursing and paediatric nursing as well. We've got food science. We've got the Masters of Public Health. You can do physiotherapy, occupational therapy, optometry and ophthalmic dispensing, podiatry, radiography, social work and psychology, all in the School of Health and Life Sciences. And these are just a flavour of the courses and the programmes that you can study here at GCU. Okay. Next of all, so entry requirements for postgraduate courses. You can see here we'll be looking for an honours bachelor degree with a minimum of 2.2. There's also an option for HND plus relevant work experience for a significant number of years in the industry at a senior level could be considered on a case-by-case basis when you are applying for one of our programmes. If you do have any queries about your specific set of circumstances, then I'll also pop a wee email address in the chat box there at the end, and we would ask you to email them. Obviously, don't pop any, I'm happy to answer questions at the end, but don't pop any sort of personal information about yourself and your applications, if there's anybody here with that, into the Q&A function on here, please. Okay, and then we've got the entry requirements in terms of English language requirements. So the academic IELTS average score of 6.0 with no element less than 5.5. We've got the TOEFL internet-based test with an overall score of 78 with minimum element scores of reading at 18, listening at 17, speaking at 20 and writing at 17. And the Pearson PTE academic overall score of 54 with no element less than 51. And if you'd like to see a more in-depth list of all the accepted tests and the scores that are required, please have a look at the website, which is gcu.ac.uk. And I'm just going to pause there because I think that my colleague is able to join us just shortly.
Hi everyone, just checking if you can hear me. If you can hear me, can you just pop it in the chat box that yes, you can hear me?
Okay, he'll join us when he is able to. So here you can see an image of our Caledonian Court student accommodation. Just thinking back to the campus map that I showed you earlier, it's just across the road at the back of campus. You could literally roll out of bed 10 to 9 and be in your lecture for 9 o'clock if you were to live at Caledonian Court. It is made up of mainly first year students. It has a social space, it's got an on-site laundry and it's got 24-hour security. There are ensuite bedrooms and shared bathroom bedrooms available there. And that's at Caledonian Court. There are a range of accommodation options throughout Glasgow, and we do have a team here that can help you with that when you're looking for somewhere to stay. Okay. Here, this is a little bit about fees and scholarships at the university. So the annual tuition fees for 24-25 for undergraduate was 15,200, and for postgraduate it was between 16,200 and 19,300. The fees are subject to change, and this is just what it was for this past academic year. There are various scholarships awarded, and in order for you to find out a wee bit more about that, I'm going to hand you over to my colleague Chidozie, who has joined us. Chidozie, can you take over?
Yeah, hi everyone. My name is Chidozie. I was just having some audio issues, so it's good to be here. It's good to meet with you this warm afternoon. Depends on where you are just now and what your time zone is. So, like I said, my name is Chidozie, and I work at the University of Glasgow, Caledonian University. I manage international recruitment, and just the tip of the iceberg, I was also a student at GCU. So it's a very good communication here, and I do hope that after this session, you'll be even more motivated to join us study here at GCU. So, just taking over from where my wonderful colleague stopped at. So, she was just talking about the tuition fees. I know someone has dropped the question. Don't worry, we're going to answer everything you've got as questions. So, for our tuition fees, for undergraduates, it's £15,200, and for postgraduates, it's a range. It's between £16,200 to £19,300. But the beautiful part about GCU, oops, what's happened? Can't see the slides. Okay, thank you. So the beautiful part about GCU is that we've got discounts for international students. And so we've got various types of discounts. For the new to GCU regional scholarships, we've got discounts for people from countries such as Indonesia, Malaysia, Philippines, Thailand, and Vietnam. And you get £3,500 discount off whatever it is your total school fees is if you're joining us in 24-25 session. And we've also got what we call the new to GCU and the new to GCU plus scholarships. So if you're from Nigeria, if you're from India, or if you're from Pakistan, you could get £3,000 off your fees if you've got up to a 2-2 in your undergraduate degree. That's if you're coming to do a master's, obviously. And if you've got up to a 2-1, or if you've got an excellent statement of purpose, or your undergraduate, your other results and other documentations look very excellent, you could get £4,000 discount off your total tuition fee. And besides that, as the University for the Common Good, we also have scholarships. And I know everyone who applies to come study abroad, most people are always buzzing about what kind of scholarships they can get. At GCU, we have lots of scholarships. I'll start with the biggest one first, which is the Postgraduate Ambassador Scholarship. And that is a fully funded, tuition-free scholarship. I hope some people here did make applications for it, because unfortunately, the deadline for that, for those who are coming to study in September, has passed. I think it was the 16th of May. But for the Yes, but for the Postgraduate Ambassador Scholarship, because the university recognizes the place of passion, the university recognizes the place of community support. It is one scholarship where we do not totally base it off academic excellence. We mostly base it on people who have had some form of impact onto their community. So if you've been someone who has done something to help the next person, if you've been involved in any form of community project, or any form of volunteering, applying for this scholarship could give you a fully funded tuition in your first year of studies. So that's the Postgraduate Ambassador Scholarship. We've also got international loyalty discounts. So if you study here, say for your master's, and you want to do a PhD, because I know there's some very serious people here who want to be professors, you could get 30%, or you will get 30% off the next program you want to do. Or if you did an undergraduate study here and you want to do a master's degree, you get a 30% discount. We've also got the early payment discount. So if you have paid your deposit, obviously you know your deposit is £6,000. But if you pay in full, if you pay all your school fees before resumption, you get 5% off the total fees, which is quite a good discount. We also have travel scholarships. So when you come on campus, when you register as a student, there are several scholarships you can still get as a current student, and we call them travel scholarships. Now, these scholarships are such that if you apply and get them, it means you can actually travel within the UK or outside of the UK to carry out any form of project or community project or something that you've always had in mind to do, even outside of the UK. We've had people travel to Pakistan to carry out projects. We've had people rebuild libraries in Kenya. We've had people train indigent citizens in Nigeria. There's a whole lot that has happened. There's been well over 100 projects around the world that have taken place due to GCU travel scholarships. So I definitely enjoin you to apply for these ones when you're here. And for the undergrads, you also have a discount of £2,500 per year for everyone who comes to do an undergraduate program. And last but not the least, I know when you consider reasons for coming to study at a school, a very important factor for many people is what's the payment plan? How does it work? I'll tell you about that. So you pay £6,000 for your deposit, and we have 8 installment payment plans for you to pay off the balance. So what that means is, after paying your £6,000, if that's what you paid for your deposit, or I know some people could even pay more, the balance of your school fees can then be broken down into 8 installments, and you could pay that in bits when you come study here, meaning you do not necessarily have to pay it once, and that helps lots of people spread out their costs and make studying at GCU more comfortable for them. Um, I'll just move on to the next slide, which is our social media handles. So if you want to follow up on the things we do at GCU, definitely please follow these social media handles. If you follow GCU International on Instagram, you can see some of the things we do. If you follow GCU Student Life, you would find out daily activities that happens on campus and how you can even get involved in these things when you come to study. So these are ways to follow up on our social media. But just talking broadly about what it feels like to be an international student studying at GCU, especially because I have been one myself. I'll get to your questions one minute, especially because I've been one myself. GCU is one university where students feel very welcome to come study here. We are tagged the university for the common good, and that's for a reason, because we are truly the university for the common good. We are a non-discriminatory university. When you come study here, you will definitely feel that sense of belonging. You will feel welcomed. We have lots of international students coming to study here as well. So when you come study at GCU, you do not come in and feel isolated. You will definitely have people who look like you and speak like you on campus, and that definitely makes you feel welcomed. We have lots of societies that help you blend into the system. We have the Students Association as well, where if you get actively involved in societies, there's like the Nigerian society, there's the Kenyan society, the Pakistani Indians. There's also other social groups you can join at the Students Association just to keep you ingrained in what happens here. And besides the social life, academically, GCU stands as a university where most students who come study here, I think in the last statistics, about 96% plus of students who graduate from GCU move on to high paying jobs. And what that tells you is that there's lots of content being delivered to students here. So when you study here, you're not just going to be lectured by lecturers in your department or faculty. You will also have industry focus. So people from the industry tied or aligned to your department would also come onto campus every now and then to give you some tidbits about what it feels like working in that system and in that organization. So there's always that linkage between studying here and your industry. And that's why many of our students move on to industry just after graduation. At the university as well, the university also promotes entrepreneurship. So we have what we call the entrepreneurial hub, where students who, because not everybody wants to move on to a job, some people want to be job creators themselves, and the university recognizes this and supports you. So we have the entrepreneurial hub where you are trained to be a business person, where you are trained on how to set up a business in the UK, how to go through the taxing system, how to be the best at what you want to do. And you're trained by world renowned experts. We've got honorary doctoral degree holders from GCU who are big business people like the CEO of Volvo. And we have these people come onto campus to teach you for free. These are things, if you went to some institutions, you probably pay for. But at GCU, it's free. And guess what? When you're done learning at the Entrepreneurial Hub, the university even goes ahead to fund you to go start your businesses. So wouldn't you come study at GCU? I think you should. So, like I said, there's lots of things you could benefit from studying here. We've got industry focused degrees. Our campus is very inclusive. We've got placement courses as well, wherein you can, after studying on campus, take your master. If it's a master's degree, it could be for 2 years, and at the second year you go on to work at an industry and gain industry experience while still studying at GCU. All of these are possibilities you could get studying here. We also have on-campus accommodation at the Glasgow campus. Unfortunately, we do not have anyone yet at the London campus, but we've got an accommodations team that can support you in searching for an accommodation if you want to study in London. But in Glasgow, we can also support you to get accommodation outside of the university. But we've got our own university accommodation just behind the campus where there's almost 1,000 bed spaces for students. So if you're bothered about coming to study in Scotland or in Glasgow and you're not sure where you can stay, there is accommodation for you, and it's very fair in price, about £500 a month, which is inclusive of your bills. So you have nothing to worry about. Um, the university is one where we support you as a student to go on to be who you want to be. We also provide some on-campus jobs as well. We also have a career service which would help you tailor your CV into a UK kind of CV to help you find part-time jobs while you're studying on campus. And for those who might even want to look for job opportunities post-study, the career service would help you even 2 years after graduating to still try to secure um, employment opportunities in the UK or outside of the UK. So, all of these are very good reasons why GCU stands as an excellent university for your choice. And we do hope to see you on campus when you come study with us this September. I think at this point, we'd be happy to take any questions that you'd have. If you've got a question, please pop it into the chat box and we'll just take as many as we can while we still have time. If I'm just going to jump in quickly, Mohammed Zaid said, if we talk about School of Computing, I choose MSc Big Data Technologies course. Can you please tell me what makes it different from other universities? Basically, GCU stands out as an excellent university in Scotland and in the UK generally. We have been ranked the top modern university in Scotland, and that tells you that we are a great university. And before you get such rankings, it means all your courses are world class. the MSc Big Data Technology is an excellent course. We've had students move on from this course to doing big things in the tech world. I might not be able to put different universities and stack them together to say this is what makes this university different or better than that. But what I can tell you is that at GCU, we give you the best of your money's worth. At GCU, you have a sense of belonging, you have a sense of community. You're not going to feel lonely or alone while studying here. And you also have industry focused degrees, meaning that upon graduating from MSc Big Data Technologies, there's a high tendency you have already linked yourself into the tech industry in the UK, and that could start as a platform for you to start up your career. So the MSc Big Data Technology at GCU is an excellent one, and I hope to see you soon. I hope that addressed your question. Francis says, for the travel scholarship, is it an individual that will propose, or the school will facilitate that with, or facilitate that with the students volunteering to do it? So for travel scholarships, it is solely based on the individual. You can have an ambition, a dream, something you've always wanted to do. And if you put it in writing, so each of them has their ways to apply. Once you put in that application, if you're selected, you're given that amount of money and you could go do a project. I'll give you an instance. While I studied at GCU a couple of years ago, I got I got a couple of scholarships too, but I got a travel scholarship and it was worth £5,000. I took the £5,000 back to my home country to set up a solar powered borehole system for a community which never had water, and it was totally paid by GCU. And that could be you, that could be you doing something even bigger than that. So, yes, it's always a personal project that you can use to do something to either benefit your life or the lives of others. And I hope that answers you. Mercy says, for those who applied for Great Britain scholarship and postgraduate scholarship, when do we expect feedback from the scholarship team? So I can say that the scholarship team are working assiduously to go through all the applications. We've had very unique and excellent applications this year. And I believe that in maybe a couple of weeks' time, not so much, but probably a week or two thereabouts, or I wouldn't want to speculate for the scholarship team because I know they do a very good job. But not so long from now, you will definitely get an update on those who were picked and selected for these scholarships. And I do hope you are part of those who merited it. Congrats in advance. Peter says, I'm coming to study international tourism and events management. What do I expect? You're expecting excellence. You're expecting studying in a university where the common good is a mantra. You're expecting coming to study in a university where you will feel welcome from the first day you step on campus. You're not stepping onto a campus where you cannot relate to people. Everyone here, GCU feels like a family, and even the staff are very friendly, students are very friendly. There's lots of things to support you with. Even at the Students Association, they've got because we know that it's a cost of living crisis and students could be sometimes going through some form of hardship. There's also like a food bank on campus where students who are in need could go pick up free food items. So you're coming to a campus that recognizes where you're coming from and is ready to support you to get academic excellence and social excellence as well. So we definitely look forward to seeing you on campus. Peter asks about a highlight on accommodations as well. When you come study here, you can choose between two things: to stay at the university accommodation or to stay off campus. Both of them have advantages. I wouldn't say about any disadvantage, but they've all got advantages. The university accommodation is just behind the university, meaning it gives you unfettered access to the university back and forth, even at night. If you were studying out with the campus, you might need to commute to campus, which is some cost in terms of spending. But besides that, you are fine in terms of accommodation. If you want to stay at the university accommodation, I would just advise that you make sure you put in your request early so that you can be shortlisted for that, because it's quite competitive. People come from all around the world and they want it. And it's also very decent. It's a very decent accommodation. So please put in that and you hopefully will get it. But accommodation is not a problem. You will be sorted. Peter. Sandra asks, if you have an IELTS, which is a month expired before your class is issued, do you have to rewrite? I would say if you send a mail to the CAS team, they would be able to address this, because I wouldn't want to give you an information that might not be as accurate as it should be. So if you have issues around the dates on your IELTS exam, please email the CAS team. You would get a response as soon as possible. They're quite proactive in responding fast, and they will tell you about what is required and what is not. And you say would like to know, one, what are the requirements to issue CAS? Okay, I'll just take it one after the other. The requirement to issue CAS, depending on where you're applying from, if you're applying from a country that requires proof of fund, what we would need is that first you've got an unconditional offer of admission, which you have accepted. Secondly, is that you have paid your deposit and we have received your deposit, because it's two things. Thirdly, you have built your proof of fund for 28 days minimum, which is the requirement for UKVI, and you send it to us. So when you send us your proof of fund, the CAS team confirms that your proof of fund is okay. At that point, when it is due, you will receive a CAS data check. Upon confirmation of your CAS data check, when you feel you just answer some questions on it, you will then get a CAS if you are meriting of it. That's basically the things you need to get a CAS from GCU. And you say, is it possible you meet the requirements and CAS is being denied? It's not a very common thing, but it's not something that has never happened. For instance, if you lie about things on your documents and we find out, we obviously cannot give you a CAS. But if you have all your requirements, if everything checks out, why are we not going to give you a CAS? We'll definitely give you one. So if all your documents are fine, if you've not falsified anything, if you're a genuine student, you will get the CAS. Can a recent visa refusal influence your CAS being issued? If a recent visa refusal, I'm not speaking on behalf of the visa team, but speaking broadly, if a recent visa refusal is such that has nothing to do with your current status, that is to say, if you were not banned, if you did not falsify any document, if you were refused maybe on the basis of some reasons that were not, how do I put, some reasons that are not um, detrimental to your person, you can be given a visa. You would still be given a CAS and you'll be given the opportunity to apply for a visa and you'll get a visa. People have had rejections 3 times, 4 times, and still got visas. But please declare these rejections in your CAS data check. The reason why you need to declare it is so we know, and if anything comes up, we can support you. If you have a rejection and you hide it, and we find out, these could be reasons why you don't get a CAS. But yes, you don't have anything to worry if you've had a denial that had nothing incriminating about it. How long does CAS take to be issued? It's a university decision. So when everything is set on our end, CAS will be issued. Are all documents submitted on the CAS like other universities do? We already have all your documents. We do not require you to submit more documents for CAS because we assume you've submitted everything even when you applied. So we do not require you submitting more documents for CAS besides your proof of fund, like I said earlier. That was big, and I hope I was able to address your questions. So Mohammed said, what if a student has an idea and have to implement it? On what conditions the university will allow to invest or support in it? GCU supports business-minded students. GCU supports students with big ideas. If you've got an idea you want to implement, there are several means of which you can bring it up to the university. Like my colleague said earlier, we've got the means program, where you're being mentored by alumnus, past students of the university. We've got the entrepreneurial hub where you can learn business and get funding. We've got the Magnesium Fund where you can apply for a travel scholarship and implement even a personal project if that's what you want. And there's a lot of it. So if you've got an idea, please bring that idea to campus and best believe you would have the opportunity to implement it. Kenny says, firstly, thank you for your presentation. Thank you. Do you have scholarship options for students from Turkey? And has it been determined when the CAS process will begin? Um, I am sure we have scholarship opportunities for everybody who has the ability to apply to come study at GCU. Some scholarships are meant for some regions, while some are for everybody. So definitely there are lots of scholarships open for students from Turkey, and you can apply for those if you are eligible. And as for CAS, I can't really say the date it will begin because it's a university decision, and I'm not the university. I'm just one person in the university. So, but very soon, fingers crossed, you should get this sorted. Thank you. Ukamaka says, I'm just going to try to be fast because I know we need to keep to time. Ukamaka says, please, is the postgraduate ambassador scholarship application still open for January intake? Yes, by all means, it's always open for both intakes, September and January. So if you're planning to come in January, you can apply for it in January. But if you get an award, it can be transferred. So say, for instance, you are awarded in September, you can't move it on to January. You can only use it when you get it and for that same intake. So yes, it's going to be open. Okay, and that's the visa email if you've got any inquiry about visa. Do we need a proof? Do we need to provide our proof of funds during the CAS interviews, or else is it only needed for our visa process? You need your proof of fund to get a CAS. If you're invited for a CAS interview, you will be asked to bring any if there's a need for a document, you will be asked to bring it. Basically, your proof of fund is for your visa application, but we ask for it so that we are sure you have all it takes to get a visa. So you do not go into applying for a visa and get rejected. So yes, we need it for your CAS data check and for issuance of CAS. Thank you, Marisa, for the links you've uploaded. Beatrice says, assuming your visa is refused, will your deposit be refunded? We operate a no refund policy for deposits, but if you have a visa rejection on reasons that are not due to your inefficiencies in terms of you did not falsify any document, you did not do anything wrong, you were denied for some reasons that had nothing to do with you, there's a tendency you could get refunded. But if a denial is given on the basis of falsification or you going against some of our policies, then I'm sorry, at that instance, you might not be able to get your refund. Ngozi Owala Nwafo says, what is the employability rate for graduates? Graduates at GCU, well over 90% of them get into employment within the first 6 months of graduating. And that's because we do not just operate an, a system where you come study on campus alone. We also try to get you closer to your industry even while you study. And what that means is you have a very big opportunity of getting into your career, and we have a careers team, a very big careers team, both in Glasgow and in London campus that supports applicants with their CVs, with cover letters, with even sending you job opportunity links. So all you need to do is to sign up to this service upon registration and you get all of these mails. Like it is largely said, you can take a horse to a stream, but you can't force it to drink water. So the university is going to give you all it takes to make you ready for your industry, for employment, but you as a person will need to make that final push to get those jobs. But most GCU graduates move on to very high paying jobs after studying. I see some more questions are coming in, and I hope I'm doing justice to your questions. If I am, please put a thumbs up. Mohammed says, thank you so much for providing such required information. I would love to meet you face to face when I'll be there. You see, that's the beautiful part about GCU. Whenever you're here, we'll definitely be happy to meet you. I'm sure I'll probably be one of the first people you would see when you come on campus. So, Mohammed, I'd also be happy to see you when you come in, and I'm sure you would have an excellent stay while as a student in GCU. Sandra, will everyone be interviewed for CAS? Most likely no. CAS interviews are basically for select set of people. There could be reasons why they could call you for an interview, but we do not normally interview everybody for CAS. So that's not a problem. But even if you're invited for a CAS interview, it's not one to be scared of. It's just a conversation. So don't get bothered about it. Sorry. Watchman says, I checked the Great Britain scholarship. Is it still open? Um, I can't say for now because I haven't been to that page recently. But if you go on the scholarships page, which is gcu.ac.uk/scholarships, you would see if it's still open. There's usually a date there that you can check. Sorry, I'll just take some water. And that seems to be all of the questions we have in our chat box. Quite a number. Okay, someone says you say it's open. That's good. Thank you. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining this session. We are really pleased to have you. We would even be more pleased to see you. And it's been a great one. It's been very good questions you've asked. And for those who are yet to pay their deposits, you've still got a few more weeks to go. The deposit deadline is the 27th of June. Yes, the 27th of June. So if you are still thinking about that, please go ahead. We are a university where we would be very happy to welcome you, and you are assured to have a very good time studying at GCU. So please do what you need to do, get yourself ready. The UK awaits you, and we wish you the best of your studies when you come study with us. Thank you for your time, and do have a great day ahead. Thank you.